Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Words Have Power. This is our September summit. We have such an amazing lineup of women for you to inspire you, encourage you, uplift you, and really just help you get to that next level in your business. We're going to get started right away with our first woman on the summit. I'm so excited to have her on our platform. She's really going to help you find that spot where you belong in the world of business. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Teresa. You're doing such an awesome job. I am Munira Zahabi. I am also known as the Niche Navigator, and I help coaches and entrepreneurs find their business niche and jump right into it. That's what I do because it comes from the heart.
It's so important to know where you belong, what your audience is, and what your specialty is. Because I know that sometimes we compare ourselves to others and we'll be like, oh, there's so many people, who do what I do, who either publish, who speak, who coach, or whatever. But each of us has a special spot where we belong in the business world and where we will flourish and blossom. And it's important to be able to narrow that down.
You are so right. You are very right in saying that there's so many people doing the same thing. But here's the thing, your flair, your flavor, and your niche is totally different. How you present the items to another person is a totally different way. And that's another way where, I compare this to going to church, because you could hear the same message from several different pastors or priests, but there's one that's going to really resonate with you. And it's just like that for all of us entrepreneurs and coaches, because you could be in the same business, but you have your own flavor.
I think that's so true. Can you give us maybe a little taste of how you get started with someone, maybe a questions they should ask themselves, or how they can, because sometimes they have no idea where to begin.
So, I had the same problem. When I got out of coaching, I got my certificate and I wanted to just take on the world thinking, oh my God, I can impact everybody and everybody, every size, every age, and, race, color, and nationality. And it hit me very hard on the face because I was not getting anywhere. So what happened was I found a coach who helped me, and what he did was ask me to write all the skills that I have, everything that I know how to do. That includes making a bed, that includes brushing my teeth, brushing my hair, doing my makeup. It starts from the bedroom, he goes, and you go outward. And everything, I knew how to do Excel sheets. I wrote everything down, and what started out as one piece of paper turned into 10. And then after about 3 weeks of all this, he asked me to circle things that brings a smile to my face. And I chose 7. And he told me to pick 7. So I chose the 7 things. And then I had to figure out if it was something that I could do this in and out. And that really opened my eyes, because there's so many things that you're good at, but it doesn't bring a smile to your face. At this age, when you're in your 40s, past your 40s, when the kids are in college, when you're looking for a different career move, because that's when you have a little bit of time for yourself, that's when you start to evaluate if that's what you're doing is what really is what you're supposed to be doing. So you have to figure out what your why.
I think that's so true, because I went to school, and when I went to school in college, I have my business management, but I got a minor in accounting. I do not like accounting, but it paid well. So I got the degree in it because there were lots of job opportunities. The company I worked for had opportunities in that field. And so I got my degree in it, but I'm not going to help you do your taxes, nor am I going to help you do your books, because I don't like numbers. I can do them, and I did very well at my job doing that, but I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't my passion. It wasn't something that I woke up every day and said, oh, wow, I get to do spreadsheets today. No, it was not for me, but it paid my bills. And at the time I had children, at home, and I had bills to pay. So it was a means to the end. It was what I did for a paycheck. It wasn't what made my heart sing. It wasn't what brought joy to my life. It wasn't something that I got up every day and said, I'm so excited to do this. Publishing and promoting women is something I get up every day and say, I'm so excited to see who I can help today, to see what story is going to birth today. And so I think there is a big difference when you know what makes your heart sing and when you know what brings you joy.
See, everybody has that choice, right? There's so many people. Forbes did a study the other time, and I quote them, and I all the time saying that there's 70% of the people in the world that are unhappy with what they are doing. It could be a job or wherever they are in life. That's a lot of people in this world.
Yes.
So why don't we promote happiness? And the choice doesn't come from the job or the managers or the bosses that we have. It comes from within us. And that's the power of choice, because you have to analyze. And like you said, like you did, and there's so many other people doing what you did. And what they did is they just got into a job and they started, because it was a means to an end, they had to stay there. But as they grow older and they can evaluate, they have to make a choice and say, hey, is this something that I want to continue doing? Or is there my passion is somewhere else so I can do that? And that is a choice that people make. Most people don't make that choice because of fear. And fear cripples them because, one, they don't know how to do it. Two, they don't know where to start. And three, they are afraid of criticism.
I think that's so true. I know in my family, my mom got a job where she, had a paycheck every Friday. My sisters have jobs where they had paychecks every Friday. There was nobody working without the net. There was nobody independent. There was no entrepreneurial. My grandparents had owned a cafe, but that was a job, 15, 16 hours a day. It was not like they said, this is what makes my heart sing. It was a way they fed, 8 children. And so the thing is that fear sometimes just grips us so hard. That's why it's so important that we surround ourselves with women and men, depending on where your situation is, that are entrepreneurs, that are making that leap, so that when those people who don't have that skill or who are not doing that, because they're going to come at you with that fear. I remember when I told my mom what I was going to do and start my business, my mother said, they're hiring at Walmart. You need to get a job with retirement, health insurance. You're 40 years old. What are you thinking? And I was like, I'm thinking for the first time in my life, my kids are grown. They have jobs of their own. They're paying their own way. I don't have to put income into them, and so I can take time and evaluate what I'm doing and see if it's going to work for me for the next 20 or 30 years, because I could not imagine clocking in till I was 65, working on numbers and spreadsheets. That it was just I was no longer happy there. And so since I didn't have to, worry about school clothes, all the expenses that came with my children, which was the reason I had the job in the first place, it was time for me, and I had divorced my husband. So it was time for me to reevaluate my whole life. And I thought, I have grandkids and I want to be able to be at events, to be that Mimi, that's what they call me, who goes to the events, who makes the lunch with them on Grandparents' Day, who shows up at the Valentine's Day party or cupcakes on their birthday. Because I missed all that with my kids because I worked a schedule that was somebody else's schedule. And I was making them money, because if I hadn't have been making them money and working on their dream, they would have fired me. So it was time for me to take a chance on me, to make a choice on me, to say, hey, it's time for me to make my dream come true. And when I started, I wasn't sure how that looked. I remember my first business coach, Stacy, she was like, would you please just get focused? Because, you write down all the things, like you did the list. She had me write down the list of all the things I thought I wanted to do, what I could bring to the world and all. My list was all over the place. I was like, I can make jewelry, I can do wreaths, I can do crafts, I could do this, I can write. I could always write. And so it was all over the place. And so she was like, okay, we're going to do it differently. Tell me what you want to bring, what brings you joy. What makes you smile? You know, what makes you happy? What could you do and it not feel like it's monotonous and it's not, you know, a chore you have to do, like cleaning the bathroom. You know, everybody has to clean the bathroom, but nobody's loving it in there singing songs, but it has to be done.
Sure.
And so she said, you need to find something that when you do it, it's new and exciting every single time you do it. And that's what writing did for me. That's what promoting women did for me, because every single one is a different adventure. Every single book we put up, you know, it's a different
and you meet
adventure.
and make new friends, right?
Right. And you get so much out of helping another woman with her business, with her dreams, because the more women who win, the more women who get their you know, dreams to come true, who make those steps and those levels of success, the more joy I get out of it. You know, some people, they're like, oh, it's a competition. No, some of my best friends are publishers. The lady I went to Canada with, we both publish. But you know, it's not a competition, it's a collaboration. We can help one another out. We can do things together to support one another, because that's where we need to be as a community.
It's different. If it's different from where you're stating, right? Because you've collaborated. Mm-hmm. But there are new people on the block who hate that word. They hate it because they think of it as competition. It's not collaboration for them, it's competition. But you know what? If you collaborate, then there's more ways you can find more business and grow. I think both of you can grow at the same time. But you know, most people don't like that, and so it's a win-win situation for some. So it's either way. It's a double-sided,
right. It's a double-sided sword. It's how you look at it. I look at it like the garden. You plant your garden, and your garden, you don't just plant one kind of flower. You know, you have all different kinds of flowers. And if the roses are blooming beautifully, and the tulips are blooming beautifully, and the sunflowers are coming up beautifully, they don't take away from the other flower. They complement one another. You know, they give it more depth. And I think it's the same way in business. We don't have to take away from one another. We can complement one another. We can work together. We can mesh well and promote all, because there are billions and billions of people in this world. Your niche is going to bring your people that are for you to you. You know, you may have a certain area of publishing that you're good at, or you may have a certain area of cosmetics that you're good at. You know, it just depends. Whatever your business is, you're going to have that one thing that makes you shine and you different than someone else. And no one else can do that. They're not going to be able to do it exactly like you do. So you don't have to worry so much about competition. Worry more about getting your voice heard, more about getting your business seen, and collaboration can do that for you. It's a choice you make, you know, how you see it. But you waste a lot of time on competition.
That's true. You waste a lot of time on competition. But here, the other thing is, you know, people just need to make a choice. First of all, that's the first very step is, do I want to continue where I am? You know, and you know, this sounds very cliche, but when I was going through a lot of things and I had to make a choice, my friend said, SHIT or get off the pot, right? Mm-hmm. And it was really, for me at that time, it was very, we don't speak like that in the culture. And so it was, to me, it was very rude. It was very heartbreaking, but it was the truth. It was a raw truth that allowed me to look at my life in a different way and say, hey, if I don't do this, I'm never going to get up, or I'm just going to be sitting here forever. And so, you know, that one thing is the evaluation. And that's most people, they start businesses. There's so many MLMs out there. There's a choice and a plethora of businesses that are looking, that have decided they're not going to promote out there, or not going to give everybody jobs, but they're going to have these independent marketers for them. So they call it MLMs. And they have these people just, hey, you know what? I started this business. Do you want to come join me? People join because the fees are maybe $100, $125, maybe $80. And they join because, oh, if that person is making so much money, I can too. But the thing is, these companies strive off of the people who don't want to do the work, because they start the work without looking, without checking, without, you know, doing their research, and then they jump into it, and that now these things are just sitting there, and they are like, okay, I can't do this because it's too hard. Well, you didn't research the company. Is it a product that you would use or you would not use? That's the first thing. So those are the choices that people need to make. And you hear in Facebook groups, also in Twitter, you hear and you see a lot of people saying, hey, I want to start an at home a business of working from home. Where do I go? Well, the first thing you got to do is to sit down and think about what kind of business is it that you want to do. Do you want to go and meet people? Is that something that you want to do? Or is it something that you can just create a resume for somebody behind the scenes and then send it to them? So, you know, there are people out there who will just, you know, create designs for you or send you a speaker sheet, something, whatever their expertise is, but they don't meet people. They work only on email primarily. So that's the choice that you got to make. You can't just go out there and say, I'm going to be in business, and then you say it doesn't work, because, you know, those marketers want you to sign up and fail because they're the ones that make money. And to keep your membership, you have to purchase a lot of some things every month so that they can make money, and you're not doing anything. You're just spinning your wheels. So those are the choices that you have to make. You know, every morning you are faced with a choice of, do I wake up when the alarm rings, or do I just hit the snooze button? That's the first choice everybody makes in the morning. Now, if you're up, then you have to make a choice. Do I brush my teeth first, or do I go have my coffee first? What do I do? So everything in your life is a choice, everything. But how you make your choices is the determination of your life.
I think that's so true. I think women jump into something because Susie Q or Betty Lou over there is making money at it. And sometimes, as I try to explain to the women who write with me, sometimes those things are just Facebook fabulous. They're not really making as much as they say they are. They're not really doing everything they say they are, but they need you to join under them and buy products and do this and that to promote them. So if you're going to, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with an MLM if that's for you, but if you're going to join that, make sure it's one you're passionate about. Do not join Mary Kay if you don't wear makeup. You know, that's just something that you have to be passionate about it. You know, we have to know what's important to us, the image we want to portray, the things we want to do in life, and then make sure that the business that we choose fits into that niche, that it fits us all the way around, that it's not something we're trying to force that square peg into a round hole because we want to try to make money like that girl is. Because that girl's plan is not going to fit you. You have to make choices based on your life, your skill set, your time restraints. Because if you don't have a car, you don't have you live out in the country, you don't live in the city where networking is going to be an easy commute for you, you know, it's going to be an hour one way to get to events, then maybe that's not going to work for you. You need to choose something where you can be more on the computer, maybe, you know, doing more remote things instead of having to be at events. It's just really what fits your life. And there's no right or wrong answer. Everybody's choice is going to be different. But just make sure you make the choice that makes sense and works for you.
You're right. That is the power of choice. You know, when I was in college, my professor always said that, Munira, you always have a choice. And, you know, I never understood that phrase very well until now when I am working with women, and I often quote him, and I have emailed him and said, you know, I really miss you because you always made that comment, and I never understood at the time, but I have now, it's opened my eyes, because everything you have a choice, coffee or tea, egg or breakfast or no breakfast, egg breakfast or healthy breakfast or just a snack bar, you know, everything you start your day till the end, everything is a choice. So all we are asking you to do is, you have so many choices in front of you, just choose wisely.
Right, and choose what's right for you. You know,
Yes.
it's okay to ask other people and get opinions on things, but don't take their opinion or their saying or what their input as it's written in stone, because you'll know
You
what's
know,
right for you.
let me tell you something. A few months ago, I was this one woman I met at a networking event, and she goes, you know, I have this fabulous project. They have a store like a Costco, and she said she was going to show me everything. She goes, I'm going to send you a link, and you have to see it. Well, the thing is, she didn't just send me the link so I can look at it at my leisure, but she was right there with me as I was going through the products. And then I said, you know, but I want to know more. I mean, you're just showing me household, just a category of household stuff, and you're saying there's more, but I want to see more. So why don't you just show me the your website? Just log in. Let's do a Zoom call. I don't want to use your password or anything, but I just want to see what you can see. Oh, no, no, that's not allowed. You have to join before you even can see that. If there is so many restrictions, then why do I want to join a company like that? On the other hand, there was another lady who showed me her whole portfolio, and she goes, look, we have these makeups, we have these slimming products, we have this, we have that. And hers was a makeup line, and I don't know much about makeup, like we said. So I didn't join, but she was very forthcoming and showing me everything that was out there in her portfolio. So that's the thing, is what we're asking, is you have so many choices in life, then go ahead and use that power of choice to make the right decision for you and for your business. Because if you want to grow, you cannot grow without doing a research. It's just like looking for a job, right? If you're looking for a job, then you would research the company. You would not just go to Walmart and find a job just because Walmart is hiring. It's something that you are going to do. And do you want to see a future with yourself in that company? And if that's the case, then join it. Otherwise, don't.
That's so true. You know, one of the things that we don't do is that women jump from ship to ship. You know, the new flavor of the month, the new thing of the month. And really, you need to make sure that it fits into what you see as your long-term goals. Make sure that it fits into the things that you have planned for you and the things that you have going. You know, if you're not going to travel, then a travel business is not for you. If you're don't wear makeup, then Mary Kay is not for you. You know, if you pay someone to clean your house, then you don't want to join a cleaning company to buy product because somebody else is doing that for you. You know, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just a unique fit for you. But you have to be willing to take the time to do the research and to ask yourself the questions, because you're going to save yourself so much misery and so much time down the line that if you take the time in the beginning to make sure that these choices are, you know, informed choices, and that there are choices that work for your particular business, for your particular lifestyle, it's going to be so much better in the end.
You're right. The power is in your hands, and you have the power to make your own choices.
That is so true. Now tell us about some things you have coming up, how they can get a hold of you, how our audience can connect with you.
So I'm very excited about my book. I don't have it with me because the publisher hasn't sent it, but I have, I wrote a chapter in one of the books called She's the Ish and Journeys to Womanhood. And I wrote a chapter in that, and very, very exciting. It's on my it's in my website if you want to purchase it. It's 12 strong women who wrote about their journeys into womanhood. That is what I'm hearing from other people, is that it is enough to move you, because these women have gone through a lot of things and become successful women. That's one thing. I am also going to be featured on a cruise as a panelist to speak about the power of choices and the niche navigation in March of next year. So that's coming up. I'm working on 2 different speaking engagements. If they pan out, it's going to be in November and December simultaneously. So lots of things happening.
Well, give us your website so they can reach out and see your things that's going on there.
It's called the nichenavigator.com.
Okay.
Very easy. The nichenavigator.com.
And you're on Facebook. What is your Facebook handle?
I am on Facebook, and you can reach me on Munira Zahabi. There is only one Munira Zahabi in the world, so you can find me very easy. It's easy for you to find me than me to find you. And, you know, I also have an interview show that I interview people with niches every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's live on Zoom. It's live on Facebook. So that's what I do, is I find people who are doing extraordinary things with their niches and then interview them and the show is called Munira's Musings. You can find the recordings on there of Munira's Musings on a Facebook page called Munira's Musings and on YouTube.
Thank you so much for being on the show and for sharing with us the power of our choices. Once again, I want to thank y'all for listening to us, for following us on iTunes and YouTube, and we are so excited when we can bring you women who really inspire, encourage, and uplift. Thank you once more for being on the show, and we look forward to having you on again.
Thank you so much, Teresa.
Bye.